And they're still in the studio. That's Carole Malone and the author and broadcaster Nikki Hodgson, and they're going to talk about Harry.
We are going to talk about Harry. He was on his way home, actually.
I think he's arrived, hasn't he?
Well, he came and he went. He's been in the country 26 hours, which is astonishing. But there's a very interesting piece in your paper today, Piers, from Robert Jobson, who appears on GBNews, saying that Charles was not too happy about it because Harry just kind of invited himself, unbidden. And there was Charles the other day, desperate to get off to Norfolk for a bit of R&R, and he had to hang about for Harry to come and see him. And Robert Jobson said, you know, this visit ended up being not the 45-minute visit we're all being told about, 30 minutes, says Robert. And it was very perfunctory. Now, you know, I'm thinking, why did he fly in for a 35-minute meeting? And God forgive me, and I said this on television yesterday, and it seems to be coming to pass today, that it seems to me that he's flown in as a bit of a PR exercise.
Well, exactly what I said
He wasn't invited.
No.
If he hadn't come, all of American telly would have been saying, why haven't you flown to your father's bedside?
And he needs to go to remind people that he's a royal.
Exactly, and he's come back and he'll be on every American TV station in the next 48 hours saying he was at his father's bedside and all the rest of it. So, to me, he's just come over for more fodder for Netflix or however. But the interesting thing is, he didn't stay. He wasn't offered accommodation at Clarence House. He stayed in a hotel with his security detail, which means that the rest of the royal family are saying there's no rapprochement here, there's no getting together. All this tosh yesterday about this is the sign of them all getting back together. It's nowhere close.
Could it be PR, or is he just an emotional flibbity-gibbet who sort of flips around if there's a bit of drama to bask in, do you think?
Well, I think you've got to think of him as a young man whose dad is poorly. That's how I thought about it, right? And no matter what has happened between you and your family members, if somebody is seriously ill, a lot of it is put to the side, isn't it? It just is. And it often changes your perception of, you know, arguments that you've had. It might make you think twice about the time you've got left to put things right. So there's that aspect of it. And the timing absolutely sucks. I don't know why somebody didn't advise him to just wait. Come to the country quietly next week, stay for a couple of weeks.
And I'll tell you why, Nikki, because I think Malone's right, because it was more about PR.
Well, exactly.
Because somebody would have said...
You say that it's a family thing, you know. When you have a dad who's 75, you know medical things, bad things, may well befall him. You do not wait until he's had a cancer diagnosis to come and visit. To me, this is, you know, I keep on hearing, oh, it's family, you put everything to one side. How can you put to one side the fact that this man, Harry, trashed his family for 3 years for multi-millions and now thinks he can fly back in here and people are going to go, oh, well, you know, it's family, it's good. No.
But I just think that's growing up. People, as children, we say terrible things to our parents. We make horrific mistakes with them. I've done it with my own parents. And then hopefully you get some time to put it right, which I have had. But, you know, he's probably...
You couldn't put much right in half an hour.
You're not monarchy. You're not royal. You can't.
No, of course. But the important bit here as well is that Meghan didn't appear because Meghan's PR campaign is all about preserving her American celebrity status. And if she comes here, she'll get trashed. So the fact that she didn't accompany
this is the woman who didn't go and visit her own father at his bedside. So I don't think it's about that. I think she just doesn't care very much.
I agree with... But she's about self-preservation. I understand why she wouldn't appear. But I just think whoever is advising Harry, please give him some better advice because it was done terribly. If you come and stay with your dad, do it in a different way.
You know he doesn't listen to anybody, and that's part of the problem. They have a whole host of advisors who they keep sacking.
Because what he could have done, he could have gone to Sandringham discreetly.
With none of us knowing.
And none of us knowing, but instead he announces before he's even on the plane, he's on his way to his father. That's why it's a PR gimmick.
What they do, and they've done it repeatedly, the Netflix documentaries, where they manage to get themselves into these positions where they become the victim. They're very good at this victimhood mentality. They play that role brilliantly. So how does he play this out now? Well, I went to see my father and he wouldn't even make more than half an hour for me. That's how this plays out in their mind.
The public are buying that anymore. I think the American public are wise to them now, and I think people certainly here are wise to them. They don't believe the victim stuff anymore. They see what he's doing. They see the manipulation.
And also, don't you think, I'm convinced the king no longer trusts his son.
Oh, I think that's exactly why he wasn't invited to stay in
Queen Camilla was not there.
Sad.
And Kate's
he did not want to be anywhere near.
Well, it's not sad. He's brought this upon himself. He made a decision to sell his family down the river for money, to try and trash the institution of the monarchy, but not the institution, his own family as well. Called them racists and way much worse.
I know, but I just think as a child, sometimes you do say terrible things to your parents.
He's not a child, he's 40!
Well,
he's 40 years old.
But he's grow up, Carole, that's
he's got that terribly noisy inner child, and we need to...
No mistake, he was just doing it to make money.